I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just heard somebody's phone, so I'm going to silence my phone because I forgot. All right, roll call. We have everyone here except for Bob. I'm sorry, Bob's here, except for Greg, and he is excused. Public. You have a public. Thank you for being here. Do you have a comment?
Yes. Oh, come up and identify yourself, please.
And, yeah.
Valentine,
Bob Valentine.
and I'm on the mooring field,
Okay.
and I'm a snowbird, I suppose. And, you know, I was going through your agenda and your goals and stuff like that, and just want to let you know how much I appreciate the staff that you have running the mooring like that. Actually incredible how quick they get back to you, how friendly you are. Doc was really good. I like Doc well. A couple comments that I have is just that the mail service is something I think you really need to look at, because there are some of us that are going to be staying for 3-4 months. Last time I was in the mooring field, we had an emergency. We had to get some fuel filters in. We were only here for about 4 days. We need to rush some fuel filters in and stuff like that. And Matanza, when they had the field, it was very simple. But now I know you guys are real hesitant on receiving orders. But I think for us who are staying for 2-3 months, it's really vital that we have an easy mail service. The only option I have now is to go down to the post office, get a post office box, pay $12 for the month, done in 4 weeks or 2. With that said, one of the suggestions that we had is I'm on the boat with my partner Linda. A user fee for facilities in the dinghy dock, I think, would really be important for the anchorages. And again, Austin told me that he spent some time up in Marathon. They do have a $22 a day dinghy fee, and that allows them to do their laundry, use the laundry facilities, use all the facilities that are available, also access to shore. And if they want to find another place to go ashore, such as the parking, that's fine. But if they're going to use their dinghy dock, it also controls the bathroom and showers for people who are at anchor on the mooring boat. The other thing that Linda really, really liked about being up in Marathon is insulated bags. Everybody who came to the anchorage got a free insulated bag that was paid for by the advertising from the local businesses. Went through your agenda, and there's nothing mentioned about coordinating the relationship with the harbor and the local businesses. I know there's been some adversarial relationship a little bit, but it could be a partnership. And I think building that partnership with local businesses would really, really advantageous to everybody. With insulated bags, their names can be printed on the outside. They can put coupons, $5 off for a dinner or an entree. They could put in services available. You could put in an information sheet for all the boaters, and we use those insulated bags all the time. Those have been real helpful. Also, I know that, talking to Austin, you guys are looking at fobs for the bathrooms. All those fob cards can use advertising on them. If you have a dive service, if you have people who are willing to use that card for 5% off or 10% off a dinner or something, you can use those fobs over and over again. You can turn them in. The other suggestion we had is the laundry room. Change is really hard in this area. Nobody has change. Banks won't give out change. Walmart doesn't give out change. The buses don't give out change. And, in the bags, by the way, you can put the bus schedule in there and what's available for travelers. But Marathon, they use a fob card. You put a $10 deposit that's attached to your name on a card, and you get the fob card, and you put $10 minimum down on your card. And then the card is run through the machine like a credit card. And when your card is used up, you go back and replenish it, and it takes care of the money issue. When you leave the mooring field, you turn in your card, you get your $10 back. That's been attached. That was another suggestion idea. Anyhow, those are some of the ideas I had. I'd like to attend more meetings. I appreciate the time to talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your suggestions. We appreciate, make sure.
The net, there's a net on 68. Nobody monitored it last Sunday morning. But the cruisers talk to each other back and forth, and if you just eavesdrop in, you get to have a feel for what's happening in the harbor. Up in Marathon, they would always participate, tell you what's happening in the harbor and stuff like that, and announcements. And it's only about 15, 20 minutes. Up in Marathon, of course, there's more boaters and participate. Also something that might help to communicate with boaters and office. Monitor 68 on, I think, Tuesday mornings at 9 and
He doesn't have to sit. A couple of his. We have the answer to.
We can.
Do you want to, on the mail service, did you want to tell them about the general delivery?
Why don't we do the approval of the
Okay.
minutes, and then in the staff report, we can do that.
Unless you're going to sit here for the, are you going to sit here for the?
Oh, okay. We can talk about
Good.
it. We don't have minutes.
Provided? Weren't attached.
No minutes,
Okay, well,
or here, or anywhere.
okay.
So,
I
they were
did,
not emailed to us, and I do not have a copy sitting here.
and I did not receive them.
Okay.
So that's
So
why, if
that
I have
means-
it, you have it, and if you don't have it, I didn't have it, so.
That means that we'll do it at our next meeting, both minutes. Okay, so staff report. We can address, the fob issue, we don't have the fobs yet, is that correct?
Not true.
That's not true, we do have fobs.
We have the fobs. We just got the static IP was just installed last Thursday. So now I'm waiting on the security guy to come back. We're waiting, they had to order an additional part in order to get the bathroom and laundry up and running. But the security cameras and the fob system for the office have been installed. So
Okay.
it took CenturyLink a while to get the static IP installed. That is ready to go. And that's why I brought these in here. I wanted to show you we're ahead of the game. We're just, again, we're waiting on outside vendors. These are what will be issued. As you can see, there's an associated number. There's, fob has the number. We know in the back end what fob is associated, what ball number. There's 70 of them here. And so.
They float.
And they float, and they say 4 hours speech. So we have everything in place, ready. We're just waiting for parts, the security guy to come back to make the connection. Pushing as hard as we can, but as you guys know, utility companies, you can't push but so hard.
Now, his comment about the change, I thought we had a change machine in the laundry, but we do not?
No, Matanzas removed their change machine some time ago, and so there's a whole spiel I'd like to talk to you guys about the laundry and some issues that we've overcome last month. Now's the time that you'd like for
Now's
me
a
to
good time.
pray. So it came to our attention that when we took this in-house, one of the things that was not changed, no pun intended, changed over, was the laundry service. Kansas still holds that contract with the laundry service company. So one of the issues Austin ran into was this change, and this was right before, I think it was Thanksgiving weekend, scrambling. And of course, as you all know, there's only one bank in town. I won't even go into the details that we had to do to get change from our bank, but after speaking with Chris, we came up with a short-term and a long-term solution, Chris from Matanzas. Their laundry machines no longer offer change. You have to use either the app or a card for the laundry machines that Matanzas has a contract with right now. Credit card, yeah. Credit card or the app. Which makes sense because we require everybody who stays in the field to have a card on file. We did secure some change. We have quarters available. But like I said, the whole point of the quarters was for the laundry, and now that that's gone away, we don't have necessarily a need to keep a bunch of quarters in stock. So as part of that, that was the short-term solution, was to get away from the quarters. Makes sense in my mind, and after lengthy discussions with Austin, is these laundry service is something else that we should have taken over. I talked to Chris, and the revenue that's produced from that helps offset the expenses when it comes to water and electric for that building, which is understood. But regardless, if we're taking this in-house, we took every other contract in-house. We took over the dumpster. We took over the electric at the Harbor House unit. We took over the porta potty. This is a part of the operations. So I told him, let's get through season. We'll talk after season. He's already working with a local electrician on finding out what it would take to have it that laundry and bathroom to have its own meter with regards to electrical and then water. So I'm working on quotes. I did receive a quote from a vendor for the purchase of some 4 dryers and 4 washers, just $26,000. But again, it's like the gentleman said, that machine offers card and offers the loyalty card program, like he was saying. It's that fob card that you put money on and then charge. So that is something we would like to do, take on probably sometime in the summer. Again, we're still trying to get our bearings, but this is definitely something. Expense to the mooring field. We're trying to show true expenses and costs of operating this mooring field. That is something in the interim, we're continue to work with Matanzas. Chris has been great when it comes to understanding that this quarters has been an issue that shouldn't be an issue, both for patrons and for staff. And so we've quickly remedied that, where it's card and app only.
Bob Beasley, for the record. I've got 2 RV parks, that I manage. We have a company called Washco
I've reached out to them.
that
Yes.
does them, and basically I think the way it works is they charge like 1 run a day for however many machines you got as part of the rent, and then they do the percentage split with you.
So that's, just so you guys know, I'm looking at the multiple different options of the purchase, of the lease to own, or just, and so Washco was one of them, but one of the stipulations they had was they want you to sign a 7-year contract. I'm not comfortable signing a 7-year contract for the town. The most we do is a 3-year contract with 2 one-year renewals.
Yeah, I only do 3-year, so that could be negotiated, I do believe.
We're working through some of those, and just, again, trying to find options that are out there, and work, hopefully in the summer, we'll have this.
My only thought is just make sure you have somebody that can service them, because ours do break down, they sit mostly all summer, but January, February, March, and April, they're running 24 hours a day constantly, and they do maintain them and clean out the vents, and
That's
just
timely,
keep that in mind.
Timely repair is that's all we are right now. Is we're customer service based, and if that washer out of 4 and you have 70 slips, if that goes down, it puts a burden on everybody. So that's definitely one of a main point in the discussions. I understand we're an island; it's hard to get out to, but paying for a service. Of course, if any of those washers or dryers do go down right now, we contact Matanzas and ask them to make the call. It is their machines, it's their contract. They're the ones who need to make the call for repair. So.
Any more staff report?
Yeah, okay. Just going into it, if you'd like me to comment on some of the concerns and suggestions the gentleman had.
Either that or I can, because I have some insights into some of what you've asked.
Okay.
But if you have some comments on them, I can
Okay.
also comment on some of that too.
All right. Yeah, like Chelsea said, we have headed up and acquired about $500 in quarters in the office. So we do have some rules available to the public. We are sectioning that office from the bank. That's something totally different than the way that we're operating the money in there, so that's its own thing. As far as the dinghy access and providing access to the dinghies, that dinghy dock was built with public funds, so we do not have regulation, and we cannot say who uses it and does not use that dinghy dock there. And as far as any of the dinghy docks on the island go, they are all welcome to the public. Anybody.
And they're free to the public.
They are,
because
they
of
are.
the monies that we had to
And
build.
let me touch on that. So
Yeah.
the one that we're looking to build at Bayside Park, that is one of the points that the town manager has made, is if we pay for this out of our own town coffers, we can regulate it and charge. And so that has been on the table, discussed as we progress with those permits. But every other dock that has been constructed, public funds, we.
Well, and I think what Rob was pointing out, and I have experienced this in various places, is that you anchor out, you pay a fee so you can use the services, the showers and stuff. And our issue now is we actually don't have enough services to really service our mooring field. We're looking to expand our services, and so to open it up to an anchorage situation at this point, we just don't even have enough for what we have right now. So that's, but to the point is, they were built with federal, state funds, and they have to be free to the public, so. I also, while we're here with the partnering with local businesses, we did that at one time. We had a gift bag at the beginning. It wasn't an insulated bag. But we also ran into an issue, and maybe Bob remembers this too. George Pacheras and I tried to put together a sheet that highlighted post office numbers, blah, 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 business numbers and stuff. And we got shot down with that because we couldn't make a sheet that had everybody in it. And I don't know if those feelings have changed at this point, because I'm sure I have a copy of what we tried to put together, but it did have numbers for taxis, for this, for that, but we couldn't put it in there.
It came down to something like, the town can't basically sponsor certain businesses and not all. So that was the issue, so it got dropped. I think.
Exactly.
Caveat to that is we have a wonderful Chamber of Commerce
Right.
that does that promotions on behalf of this island. So
Well, and they put together these plastic bags that people used to get that had all sorts of information. I don't know that we're still doing that.
we're promoting the chamber. We'll tell you that.
We have bags, we have chamber items in the office.
We do have chamber brochures in the office. One of the things that we did anticipating the Cruisers Appreciation Day is we did purchase some F&B bags. It's not this one, but we do have them available. They're
Canvas bags.
canvas bag, thank you. But that is an idea as part of the marketing plan. Again, we're on month 3. We're all biting at the bit to expand and grow, which we love to hear. But that is definitely something on the radar in the future as part of a long-term goal. In the interim, we can promote town properties, town projects, town amenities, and again, relay that, hey, the Chamber of Commerce is a great source and tool that this town has. We can encourage folks to visit there and promote the chamber. And again, it goes back to, like you guys said, when you hit this hurdle years ago, it is promoting of businesses and, of course, playing favoritism and things like that. So, but it's definitely something we can look at in the future with regards to purchasing and advertising and talking to our town attorney and our PIO and seeing how they've done it. Where? Austin?
You're good? Yeah.
Do you have
everything's
some more
Yeah.
report?
Yeah, okay. So, the VHF radio and everything's been up. As far as the cruisers net, we do monitor on Wednesdays. We tried participating in it, but there was just some relay issues going on. I believe the guy who puts it on is over by the Pink Shell. So a lot of people are having trouble trying to get communications going on. So there's a lot of relay issues going on. And what we ran into is we were holding the show up, trying to get our message relayed out to the host. So we kind of just monitor it at this time, and we're making notes of everything that's being discussed on the cruisers net at this time. There is a lot of information being broadcasted that isn't accurate, so we would like to go in and get the answers and all the questions for these people answered. So we're working on ways to better communicate the actuals of the field other than just the rumors at this time. Boat parade was a success. We went ahead and got both of the pontoon boat and the pump out boat in the boat parade. We were recognized for something. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what it was, but we try not to put our name or number on those boats. We don't want to take any votes away from people participating or receiving prizes for what they do. My understanding, the town can't receive any gifts or anything like that, so we try not to participate in the voting aspect of it. It's more of just an acknowledgement and a participation aspect for the town to be a part of it. So we did answer one Mayday call this week. We've had quite a bit of Maydays over the radio, but we were able to answer one. It was a boat that was taking on water at a local marina that we assisted on. We actually saved the boat, kept it afloat, and they got it out of the water at Diversified, so we went ahead and took care of that. The boat's been running into a couple issues here. We've been running into maintenance issues. We've had some electrical issues with the pump out boat. We've ruptured a fuel line and caused it to go down for a few days this week. Staff went ahead and rebuilt the entire fuel system on it. With that being mentioned, we have gone in, like I've said, and we're starting to look at replacing the pump out boat. We've had a surveyor come out and they inspected the boat, and they're getting a report together to give us a price on what the trade-in value will be worth on that.
That's required per the CVA grant that we were approved to apply for.
We should be able to be trading that boat in here and getting an updated vessel to cut down on the maintenance costs that we're experiencing now. The new dockage at the boat we've worked out. We've run into a couple issues with the tide over in that area, but we're working that out with the county as well. But as of today, we do have a spot to put the pump out boat at. It is temporary, and we still are exploring avenues of permanent storage for the pump out boat.
Where is that spot?
We're going to be in a county lot over by Trico.
It's
In
there.
between Trico docks and the Kelly Brothers land over there as well. Yeah, everybody's familiar with that, but staff will just have to go over the bridge to get the boat. We have acquired a spot for vehicles to park as well. We've talked to FWC, and we're trying to get something with them about crab traps in the area. We've got a couple of crab traps that are drifting into the mooring field, and we're having issues with them. It is a crime to mess with those or to do anything, so I'm trying to get FWC to come out and to do better patrols and to kind of help us out in regulating the crab traps that are coming into the area. We do have two of them that are mixed or that are tangled up in the mooring systems. So we have staff going out today to go and unbind those out and get everything straightened out. We've reached out to the fire departments in the area as well. This boat going down kind of raised some issues with nobody really has the means to kind of, I guess, help the boats out when they're taking on water. None of the emergency crews in the area have pumps or anything like that to help out. It's mostly just salvaging and things like that. So we're trying to work out something with local fire department, police agencies to have more pumps available and to stop the boats from going down, other than salvaging them when they do go down.
Is that the boat that's north of the bridge?
No, this was a boat that was in a marina, but the environmental impact to the island would have been pretty big if this boat.
The boat was in a marina?
Yeah, it was in a marina going down.
So the marina can't take care of that?
It was an issue, but it was a Mayday call, so we went ahead and assisted him. NITO and all the private entities came out eventually and took care of it, but for the most part, we just had to stop it from going down. What else is that? The quotes, we got a quote for the dock at Virginia, so we're looking into that as well. We're trying to get more quotes acquired for that as well, but we're having difficulty running into marine constructions that do work on the island here. So that's a big hurdle that we're trying to overcome as well.
Are we able to put a dock there, or is that question hasn't been answered yet, or?
I'll have a further discussion with the town attorney.
Okay.
I'll be here tomorrow.
Number for Lee County zoning and permitting, that might be a first call.
No, they don't have any jurisdiction in this area.
Okay.
Town.
Even for the zoning?
Yeah,
The town
it's
first.
towns, yeah.
All right, we do have staff. We've went ahead and our newest staff just got certified this weekend, so we have one more diver on the maritime crew that we should be going out in the water today to get inspections and things taken care of today. Like I said, the quarters were stocked up. We had a leak in the office over the weekend. Yeah, nothing major. They're trying to figure out the cause of the leak. They thought it was a fire line rupture, but it seems like a condo or something above
The ceiling
overflowed.
somewhere.
Yeah, and so we have some tiles and stuff missing in the office as of right now, but it's getting replaced. We have moved our response time for DACA. DACA tracks our response times for when we reply to these to the requests coming in. When we acquired it, I believe it was at 8 hours response time was what we were at, and as of this week, we're down to under an hour. So we're pretty quick on responding to people requesting coming into the field. As of right now, we're pretty much at 100% this weekend. We have 4 vessels on wait list that we're making calls to today and letting them know that we do not have availability for them to come into the field as of right now. And with that, we give them the option of being on standby or on the wait list up until we do have other vessels vacate the field to fill them in. So we're not really turning anybody away. We're just putting them on a wait list to see when we can get them into the field. We've had to turn away 4 people so far due to the bridge. So they can't come in under the bridge due to mast or size of the vessel. So that's an issue that we're running into and turning people away for that. Like Chelsea had mentioned, the cameras and the fob systems have been installed in the main office, and they're working accordingly. We've had 2 laundry machines go down this month, and we, as the staff, has failed to get a response from the company that monitors those machines. So like she said, it's really not our responsibility since it's not our contract. So we turned all those problems over to Matanzas. So hopefully those will get resolved through Matanzas. We've had one incident in the field this month with somebody in the Anchorage field. We've been having constant issues with persons in the Anchorage field. There was some vandalism done, so the police are investigating that, and we're trying to get to the root of that. So hopefully as soon as that investigation is complete, a lot of the complaints and issues that we've had in the field as far as persons and disruptions will be minimal again.
What kind of vandalism are we
Some
talking
tires
about?
got slashed.
Oh, for cars on land?
Yeah, for cars on land, and I believe it had to do with the porta potty or something. There was a dispute with the porta potty, but we went ahead and moved the porta potty to a more accessible area so that there's.
Do we think those are people that are in the mooring field that are doing this?
No, it was on camera. Everything was on camera. Like I said, there's an investigation and everything's underway, so they're getting to the core of that. The parking lot was closed this month, I believe, for about a week and a half. It is now reopened and everything's kind of shuffling back to the same way it was. That's why the porta potties and everything got moved around. The whole parking area there was shut down, so we've lost that area for construction staging pretty much. But everything's back now. We're getting it cleaned up. We've tagged 2 dinghies this month for storing vessels at the dinghy dock. We're trying to regulate the dinghy dock more closely, trying to stick to the rules of what we have there. We all know that the space is limited there, so people storing their vessels and utilizing double ties and stuff we're trying to cut down on. It's usually just a tag for 24-hour of removal, and then we take it upon the patrons to go ahead and resolve the issues before staff resolves them.
About that, do the security cameras, are they aimed at the dinghy dock? Do we have tape of people who are not tying up their dinghies correctly and or are leaving them there?
Security cameras are not there. It's
Can
on
they
your
be
guys'
there?
long-term goals, but we're not at that stage.
We did hire a new hire, Joe Dunn, to help us out in the field and office work. I believe this is his first week, so we're still in training with Joe. If you guys get some time, go down there and say hello. The office hours have changed. I believe I've mentioned this, from 8 to 1 o'clock. So we do have an opening time at 8 o'clock and a closing time at 1. Staff is here till 2 o'clock. Even though the doors may be locked, we have been attending to issues after 1 o'clock if need be. I believe that's about it for the staff report, if there's any questions.
Can you explain to Rob, wasn't there a general delivery option for the post office?
Yes, that's what he was referring to.
Okay.
Yeah, so with the mail delivery and us not, we did have a couple issues with people getting mail delivered to our address, and with what it was, the mail just ended up in random areas and random buildings. So that's the issue that we're having and why we don't receive mail in that building, because of where it might end up. We don't have a way to track it, even though that something from Amazon may be delivered to either the Matanzas office or the Harbor House office. It's being took in different directions, and we don't have a way to track it or to track it down. So that's an issue that we've been running into with the mail delivery. And the general delivery is still an option for everybody in the mooring field. You can just set up general delivery with the address of the post office, and they will hold your package for a month, and you can have that route as well if you'd like to get deliveries to the island here.
Okay, along those lines, so if I'm in the mooring field and I want, as Rob said a little bit ago, I want parts delivered that I need. They're not being, I can't get them directly delivered to the office, the harbor, to our office.
We don't have a facility to store anybody's packages or anything
And I
like
think
that.
we should have one.
Okay, very noted.
The reason is, I've done a lot of cruising for 30 years. I was able to pick up parts in grocery stores in the Exuma Islands in the Bahamas. It seems impossible to me that we can't get something delivered here given the Amazon.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can get
I mean,
things
you know.
delivered here, absolutely.
I mean, it just, I find that mind-boggling that we can't accommodate
We'll
our-
take that into consideration, but right now the town's not taking the responsibility of receiving somebody's personal mail. We've provided an alternative option, but that's something we'll look into outside of season.
Well, I think that and I understand what you're saying, and that's fine to address it later, but when we talk about providing a top flight service to cruisers, that's a key element when you're out sailing.
Okay, we'll look into it.
Any other questions? Chelsea, do you have some further things on the staff report?
I don't think so. If I recall them, I'll mention them. You know me.
Anytime.
Mine just runs a mile a minute.
It's okay, it's okay. We can, if you remember it later, it can,
I'll
it
mention
can be.
one thing, the FBIP application for the funding of the construction, the expansion. I should be receiving that agreement by the end of the month, I've been told.
What was the cruiser net time and Channel 68?
Wednesdays and Sundays at, I believe it's 9 o'clock.
Thanks.
That's something we'd like to, maybe in the next year or so, potentially take that over ourselves. Like Austin was saying, that there is a lot of misinformation being construed, and we want to make sure that, we take pride in the efforts that we're putting into this mooring field and these operations, that we want to make sure that wrong information isn't being pushed out there, and we want to make sure what is being pushed is accurate, so.
Channel 68 on both.
Make an announcement on 16, I believe 15 minutes prior, and then another 5 minutes prior, and then direct everybody to 60.
Right. Let's move on to the strategic plan review then. I think we got halfway through last time, but I went through, and I think there's a couple of things that are not correct in the one that you sent out, what we decided, and we'll see what other people. Under number 1, customer experience, number 5 is still in there for the ice machine, but I thought we were taking it out because we have ice.
Yep.
Am I correct with that?
Yes.
Okay.
So to that notion also, I've been looking into Also in the laundry room is a vending machine that is owned by Matanzas.
Okay.
We're looking into potentially purchasing a vending machine that the town would own.
Snacks.
Snacks and drinks, it's a combo machine.
Right.
Which the existing one, I believe, is just drinks.
In number 2, growth and capacity, number 2, I think, was not supposed to be taken out. It was supposed to be edited. It said, the original one said, move forward with plans to expand existing mooring field, but I thought we were going to edit it to say, move forward with construction plans, rather than taking it out entirely. Am I correct with that?
Move forward
sounds
with
correct.
construction and implementation.
Okay, so that should be left, number 2 should be left in.
Okay?
And edited. And then number 6, I think that we were done with that, and it should be taken out.
Okay.
Am I correct?
Yes.
So number 13 was supposed to be ongoing. Which it was supposed to still be in, because that was working towards the designated federal anchorage area.
I thought we talked about that in length.
Did we decide not? I thought we decided to keep working on that.
Now, my notes say continued.
Yeah, that's
so
what mine says,
Continued.
that we're supposed to be ongoing with that
how accurate that is.
and not taken out.
And
Am I
debate-
correct?
Yeah, and debate the pros and cons of pursuing that.
Yeah. Let's see. And is that all that we did?
So,
Okay. All right. So we're in number 3, technology improvements, I think. Is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Online solution, we've already done that, right? That's done. DACWA. Set up a kiosk, and we have one?
Yes, we have an
Yes.
iPad available.
Okay, so we're done with that. Dedicated website for the mooring field. Are we working on that? Or is that not feasible? Okay.
not going to
I mean, because we ran across something else that was not going to be feasible in one of our other
Town
things.
is trying to have one unified place that has all of the information instead of 20 different places that has to be updated.
We
and
would be
maintained.
part of,
So we're just slash mooring
So we're
field.
just removing that one at this point.
this one is not feasible, so it's gone.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
We have a page on the town's page.
Right. And we've had that for a while,
Yeah.
but yeah. Acquire Wi-Fi for the whole mooring field. I'd like to try to keep working on that.
We are.
Okay.
We have a new IT company and I planted that seed. Now that we actually have a source at the office, it's in brainstorming with them, it's almost like getting an extender
Right.
and then pushing it out.
Having more range,
Yes,
essentially.
so that's ongoing.
Okay, that's ongoing. Social media presence, we're still ongoing with working on that.
Working with Jenny, yep.
Research best solution for notification tracking mooring ball occupancy. Is that feasible?
Could be, we need to do some more homework on it.
So ongoing on that, okay. Investigate installation of change machine. Well, it may not be the change machine, but it's,
We can change that to vending/laundry.
vending/laundry, chain, but this says change machine, but it's essentially purchase solutions, or, I mean, it's kind of
Methods.
making sure that it's easy for people to use, that, I don't know.
We can remove it and add something else down the road. Or if you guys want to replace that.
I mean, this
with-
is just a change machine, but it's more,
Then we talk about getting,
Right.
taking over the laundry.
So maybe we change it to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then,
let's
Procuring.
edit this.
yeah, I think it needs to be edited.
Agreed.
Take over, we'll make it better wording, but town take over the laundry.
Okay, we're doing the key
And review
card.
payment methods.
Yeah, and payment methods, yeah, something. The key card is really done, we're just waiting to finish.
Let's keep it on there so it's on our radar.
Okay,
But yes, trust me.
I mean,
Weekly,
we have
I'm
gotten
sending
the
emails.
fobs, but we're not finished completely. App. Is that feasible, to have an
DACWA.
app?
It's DACWA.
It's already done then, okay. Right. Okay, so, safety and security, number 4. Tender improvements, we've
that, right?
done that. We're done with that.
Right, yep, done.
I mean, that's an ongoing maintenance and all of that stuff, but security cameras, we don't have at the dinghy dock.
Ongoing.
That's ongoing. We do at restroom, is that right?
Not yet.
Not yet, but we're working on it.
What had to be installed before I could get the actual cameras up. It won't be, let me clarify, they will not be in the bathrooms. They will be outside the bathrooms. They will be in the laundry room.
I hope that's true.
Okay.
Probably
Okay.
illegal. Yeah.
Restroom facilities, meeting, I would think that would be an ongoing thing, because you're wanting to always make sure that that's true. Am I correct? Okay, meet with law enforcement, you guys do that.
The, number 3, we could actually remove, because that's more operational instead of like a project oriented.
Okay, just remove.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that got in there really in the beginning, but
Strategic
We were having
objective.
issues.
I think we were having issues at the time that we were talking about it, probably.
So now that you touched on this next one, you know me, my brain runs.
Law enforcement?
I did just yesterday finalize, I had to redo the formatting and editing of the harbor management plan. So I have passed that to Austin for his review. Like we discussed at the last meeting, hopefully at your January meeting, we'll be able to get you our version and edits of the harbor management plan.
Right. And that's in there. You're saying, okay. This is an ongoing, do you think?
Yes.
And improved lighting? Have we improved lighting and number 5?
It will be, that whole downtown area the lighting is being improved as part of that project, so let's put on.
This is ongoing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And we're having a issue over here at this dinghy dock with the lighting and loitering. And so we're trying to get an electrician out to see, troubleshoot that light over there. It's been out, so.
Okay. Communication, enhanced communication. I think this is an ongoing, isn't it? We've already discussed some ways that we're hoping to, like with the net and some other things, so that's ongoing. Provider and staff, well, that's kind of us now, right?
So
We're
done.
one and the same, so that one probably is out, huh? Process for regular and specific updates between the AAC and town council.
That has been implemented by town council, and you guys have your scheduled meeting dates that you have to give an update to.
Right, so we're pretty much done with that as well. Define regular and specific budget reports from staff to AAC. We're starting that, I think.
Ongoing. It's gonna
We were
be-
ongoing
It's
with
going
that.
to be ongoing.
Yes. Well, and we're getting there. So we're better than we have been for a while.
And
Marketing plan.
ongoing.
What's happening right now?
So with Jenny, she pushes out so many different mooring field promotions per month. I think that's something we staff need to sit with her and come up with a game plan, because there's opportunities through DACWA where, you know, you can pay for a spotlight, you can offer a discount promotional, you know, for the month, you get a discount if you come stay in our marina. I definitely think there's some opportunities, but I think we need to put together with her a true marketing plan, because she's going to be the one doing a lot of these promotions through social media and the website. But as things come up, she rode on the boat with, I think, Matt in the boat parade, and I think she went live on Facebook, on the town's Facebook page. So it's not a set plan, but we'll work on getting one.
We still have an ad in the cruisers net? I mean, we did for a long
Yes.
time. We still have it.
That's the one that's still, yeah.
Still going. Feasibility of weekly meet and greet. I'm not sure a weekly one is feasible for us, but you emailed, and I'm sorry I didn't get back to you about, are you doing something for the holiday thing?
Not as right now. We're just throwing ideas around at this point. Basically, it comes down to the relationship between staff and field. We would like to build a better community type situation in the mooring field. So we would like to host something now that we do have an office, maybe mornings, bagel, breakfast with the harbor master, something. Just every month we have something to bring people together and have a gathering of that sort. Nothing too extensive, just kind of a time and date and something provided for people to come and kind of congregate.
During season
During
particularly.
season,
Yeah.
during out of season, and build more of a community to kind of get the message out, the changes that Fort Myers Beach is making, and hopefully resonate throughout the boating community, the changes we're making here. That should be, I think, the cheapest way to advertise.
I'd love, if you guys would like to partake in that and assist us. We'd be more than
Well,
happy.
I certainly don't think a weekly is
No, I think
really
I think
possible. Maybe
monthly
monthly, could we
is
edit
fair.
that to monthly?
Yep,
I think that's more feasible.
I agree. We had high aspirations.
Well, yeah, it's just everybody's time and, you know, and I think maybe a monthly thing is feasible. Communication, verbal communication log, I'm not sure what this is particularly.
Prior, we were having issues with documenting telephone calls, and I believe that
Oh,
Austin
okay, I get
and
it.
his staff are very good with utilizing DOCWA and following up with that and making notes in their customer profiles. So I think we could say done on that one.
Center for Communication of Rules, et cetera, our offices,
Did you get that bulletin board?
and the bulletin board?
Yeah, it's just an area to notify the patrons of changes being made, any issues that are arising in the field that we're trying to regulate more, things like that. So basically, yeah, it's just gonna be a physical board.
Board in the office?
In the office and laundry room.
Okay.
We have plans for the laundry room to reformat that to make
Okay.
it more user-friendly and to utilize the space to broadcast information.
Why don't we put ongoing since it's not really there yet, because we can revisit that. Okay, we're not gonna have a dedicated website,
Moved.
but are we going to be able to have anonymous do we have that?
Yes.
We already have it. So that's done.
Through Marina Go and through DOCWA.
Okay, so it's all, that we've already.
And we
done.
have comment cards in the laundry room.
We have them in the laundry room and we have them in the office as
Okay.
well.
Ongoing communication, I would say. Ensure there's fluent that's an ongoing thing. Okay. Right, so we can maybe do the same thing that you did, adding those things back into the other, and then,
You want to add on here what the gentleman mentioned about the advertising and the looking into that with the bags?
sure, on communication,
Yes.
merchant advertise, what? How would you like to word that? That's a long-term goal.
Welcome bag?
Yeah,
Welcome bag advertising.
sure.
What was the term of the bag?
Insulated.
No,
Oh, insulated,
that's what it
insulated.
Where we're adding that as a number 11 or a part of number 10 or?
Number 11. New. Okay,
We'll get this updated and you'll have it in your January meeting.
great. All right. Cruisers Appreciation Day.
So Doug, or not Doug, you're Doug. Greg wasn't able to make it this meeting, but he did send me a couple different offers. So there's this website called Roaming Hunger, where basically they send a blast out to all of the food trucks, and then anybody interested in putting in a bid puts in a bid. So we did receive two proposals, one from Red Rock Cravings, which is more of a like taco truck, and then a second one from City's Food Truck, which has again, I'll pass this around, you guys can look at this. It was anticipated for 75 people, and they did provide a price, but I will tell you, just preliminary review. Also, we had, I know Kathy and Sam, you guys came over last week to the appreciation luncheon. That vendor also is putting in a proposal. And Mike, you did too, you came.
I was going to say, Pulled pork sandwich
It was
was,
wonderful.
it-
It was really
It
good.
was really good. Mine was too. So, they are gonna be putting
And
in
who are they? I forget their name.
easy nuggets or something? What's the name of that stuff?
something, yeah, something like that, something nuggets. So we are, he has been working on getting these proposals. I did look this morning before the meeting and see if this roaming hunger had any other proposals, but, as of right now, we have 3. The anticipated date is March 25th in the afternoon. Most of these places do require a deposit, so we will need to be making a decision on this sooner than later. Austin has the banner on order, just pending. He had a really good idea, is to just kind of have a Velcro spot to where
The date,
the date in each year. So,
March 25th is a Friday.
yes, it would be like an evening, an evening, which with staffing, that helps us, and we can get set up and stuff that week. But we can talk details of like the voucher cards that we were talking about. But again, I'll pass these proposals around. Then here's kind of the email Greg sent to me. Brooks Nugget Wagon is the one.
That's the one, yeah.
So, but basically all the ones that he's spoken with so far do not offer alcohol. And so I had mentioned Austin, maybe we could reach out to a couple local businesses and see if they wanted to do a satellite bar this area as part of the special event. You know, we would of course have to do a special event application for this. I'll pass this around
We have a spot for it.
underneath the
We
bridge.
we can't do it
We
there.
can do it underneath the bridge.
Okay. Because that was one of the questions, I think, last time, we weren't really
Speaking of the
sure.
spot, I did mention to Allison that you had elected a different location than I had suggested using the Mound House. She said, if you would please consider her for next year, she will make sure you have a spectacular, wonderful event.
Well,
I'm just letting you know.
No, I know.
She has all the experience with all of the different food trucks and things coming out there. She's got lots of experience doing the special events permits and things like that, so
I think it's definitely, I spoke with Allison.
just ask you to keep her in mind that she
well,
would be
I know,
helpful.
I've been to events at the Mound House several times, and it's a wonderful facility, and it's a wonderful grounds. Our issue is transportation.
They have a huge,
She would take care of that.
they have a huge dock.
She would take care of it and make it a special thing.
They have a huge dock. I don't understand what the, why we can't, use that.
Would love to do that next year.
Yeah, she's saying next year now.
Would love to do it next year. She and I have both and have a lot on our plates right now, especially with the Bay Oaks redevelopment. So if we can look, we can start planning ahead.
We can start talking in the fall, and I think this year it's probably not something that we.
I just thought the only thing holding it back was the dock, but if they're not available, we'll do it next year.
Well, if there's a way to really get people there, then something to talk about in the future.
I think some of these questions could be answered by asking some of our current people in the mooring field. How would you feel about something that far away from the mooring field, for example? Those are, we need.
And that's,
If you can be picked up at this dock and have rides back and forth. That's the issue.
They have the Moundabout mobile.
Okay.
Something to shoot.
So, my thing with the food, I guess, is that, you know, if it's kind of a happy hour activity, I'm not sure huge sandwiches and lunches or what, maybe we want more like small, like sliders, and I don't know if they have those kinds of things, but whatever.
my only request is, I was leaning more towards either the Brooks Nugget Wagon or the other one because of the variety that they offered. They offered a lot more options for the price.
Okay. Now, we have to pay them an upfront cost to secure the spot, and that's not even food, it's just
Oh,
the.
it is, no, that, it's a deposit on the event and the food.
Make sure that they get a minimum.
Okay.
I only have experience with the ones at the nice luncheon the other day, but they really had a very nice, efficient system
I agree.
They did.
as well. I mean, you know, you walked up, you gave your order, you got your
Yeah, having had experience with them, I mean, they gave out beepers and people came back for the food and it was really
It was
well
very, very well
done.
done.
And the food was good. I have no experience with the other two.
Yeah, I don't either, but
We have
Did
experience
you
with
know
them.
the city's one? No.
The one with the buzzers, though, is the one I've only experienced.
Yes, I guess.
So, okay. I passed out just kind of the sheet for, this was our planning in 2020. I didn't edit it at all because it would change. Obviously, there are things that would change. And then on the back was people that we approached for raffle things in 2019. And I'm assuming we still would want to do a raffle or something to help offset our costs.
Who oversaw that raffle then?
Did it?
Ran the raffle?
Pam and I did.
Okay. These are the swag bags that we ordered.
Those are nice. And is that a giveaway, like we did with all of our other things when they
figured-
check in?
Talking, just again, brainstorming with Austin, we have 70 mooring balls, 20 bags.
Good thing about those as opposed to the insulated is nice too, but you can actually just hold that up and put it right in your pocket.
Exactly.
I also did this comparison, this financial comparison sheet, and I didn't have figures for our first two. First one was the first part of May, and it was originally supposed to bring people in, but we realized that we wanted to transition to appreciation and thank you. And you can kind of see the date that was held is on the right-hand side, and then you can see the number of boats and the number of people that we had. And the people is people off boats, the number of people we gave tickets to. It's not the total number of people. And so then you see the tickets given, and we had upped our number of tickets. We started with what, maybe 3 tickets, and then we went to 5 tickets, and we went to 7 tickets. And one year, somewhere in the middle, somebody had 7 people on their boat, and we limited it to 4. And we may even figure we need to limit it even further. I don't know, because of our financial situation. If we're not partnering with somebody, maybe it's 2 people per boat that we give tickets to, or I don't know how we want to do that. But I kind of see when we did it at the end of March, we did better than when we did it at the beginning of April in general. So we're doing it at the end of March before a lot of people leave and
I
whatnot.
think back to your tickets thing is it's first come, first serve. We have a limited amount of tickets, and, you know, this is the maximum number we're giving out. Beyond that, you're more than welcome to purchase directly from the vendor.
Right. Well, what we did was we offered, we had the list of the boats, and we gave 7, well, in the end, we were giving 7 tickets
Up to 4.
up to 4 people on a boat. And they would get those tickets when they got there, whenever it was. And we don't have to do the same thing at all. As I say, we could have 2 people on a boat get 5 tickets. We guarantee them that much, and then they purchase on top of that, or whatever we decide. But
We can work out those, if you guys designate a certain person, I will be more than happy to work those details. Well, Greg's kind of the person, but I can work those details out with him, if that's what this committee. Your limit is, your budget's $2,500. We've already spent like $100 or a couple more, how many? I don't know, maybe, let's just say $500 for the banner, just budget number. So really you've got,
the bags are coming out of that too,
yes,
and that's how much?
I'd have to follow back up with Randy. Plan around $2,000 for this, for,
When we contract these trucks, are we going to have some kind of contingency? For some reason, with COVID or something, we cannot have an event, you know, up to the last minute? Town calls it on us or something? Keep that in mind. Keep that in
we'll
mind
keep
while
that,
we're.
you'll keep that in mind.
Okay, this deposit that we give them, do we, what
I would handle the deposit.
what is, they get that, just to make that much in food for sure? Or how does that
I
work?
haven't, each vendor may do it differently. I know Brooks Nugget Wagon requires $700 deposit, based on that email that Greg got. I think it secures the spot, and then, that's half of the total cost of the event. So you're paying, I think it was 75 people. We're waiting on the formal proposal from Brooks Nugget Wagon.
That would cover the tickets that we're giving out free.
It's the
Gotcha.
food. You're paying for the food and securing this.
Okay. Well, because 5 tickets probably doesn't even get a sandwich.
Not sure
in
what
this-
it gets at Brooks. Yeah, they had pretty hefty.
Yeah.
I'll work that out with Greg. Okay. Gonna run down your list.
Well, coordinating and planning is not with Matanzas, but it's, and who's kind of taking care of that? I don't know. I don't know, this list is, we've got the banner taken, and we've got the giveaway taken care of, right? If we're doing it under the bridge, we don't need tents. But are we gonna get tables and chairs?
Staff we'll get this from Bay Oaks.
And the permitting, Sam, are you gonna take care?
Yes. I'm gonna have to talk to Chelsea about that
I'll help
after.
you.
Yeah,
I'll
I
work.
might have an issue that I have to talk to you about.
We won't need to do the change at all, because we won't have to do anything with that.
How far ahead does the permitting start?
If possible.
Well, coordination and planning, you mentioned talking to somebody about doing a beer and wine thing.
Yeah, Austin was gonna reach out to a couple of the local businesses around there to see if they wanted to do a satellite tent. But then they would be required to pull their own special event.
They
permit.
have to get their own
Because it's a-
permits.
Instead of full alcohol, just beer and wine? I
Our
think that
special
makes
event is
sense.
just for the food truck, and then, but they would, if they chose to partake in that, they would have to pull their own special event permit.
It is during the day. We probably could get by without the hard alcohol.
Well, beer and wine's enough. I mean,
Yes.
Beer and wine's
it's,
I mean, we had everything at Matanzas, but they, did we? Do we have mixed drinks on?
no, they had,
Beer.
they did
and
beer
wine.
and wine.
Yeah.
People could wander into the bar
right.
on their own, but they only event, and sodas. I assume, that food truck didn't have sodas either. They didn't have any
Had
drinks.
They did.
Did they?
It was in a
Was
cooler.
that
it
their
was-
cooler?
Yeah.
That
it
was
in the back of
theirs.
their cooler.
Okay, that was theirs. Well, we'll have to discuss about how, the money, the food and stuff, how we want to do that.
Are you leaning towards that Brooks Nugget wagon?
That's
Well, it's a known entity.
It's a
That's
known
the thing.
quantity to 3 of us, 4 of us, 5 of us.
I was late, so I didn't really get.
You didn't get food?
I got a little bit of food.
Okay.
But everyone was happy. Everyone else was really
Yeah,
happy
I
with
mean,
it.
they had the dinners, they had some other stuff on the menu
They had
too.
3 choices, I think, on that chalkboard. So,
But, I don't know if there's availability to do small things or if they can do that. I mean, I guess that's something to negotiate with them.
We'll have different price levels for.
Well, this was a big lunch thing, but I wonder that they couldn't do little sliders that would be cheaper, or since it's kind of a happy hour event. I mean, it could be supper too, but it's, I don't know.
I'll talk to them.
Yeah, I mean,
If is that the consensus
I
of this
think-
committee? Utilize Brooks Nugget wagon?
it was they were good.
Okay.
They were efficient. They worked hard.
All right. Nodding
And
of the
that
head.
food was
system
good.
and everything. They had a nice system
Yeah.
for when they got crowded.
Okay. I'll work with Greg and communicate with them and find out, get their official formal proposal. And the date was still the 25th. Everybody was
I
good with
think
that?
so.
Yep, Friday,
Yeah.
March 25th.
They said 1 to 5. Is that too early? Oh,
1 to 5?
Noon to 3.
1 to 5.
1 to 5.
What's 1 to 5?
Unless timing.
Oh,
the what, then?
But
afternoon?
It has to be in the afternoon, I think, because it gets dark at
5.
And it's Friday.
and it's Friday. Do we need 4 hours?
This call. That's what he put on the email that they have offered so far.
Didn't we used to, like at Mantanzas, we did like, I don't know.
It was noon to
Three,
3.
and that was long enough
I
by
mean,
the end of
if,
it.
if we're talking, well, 1 to 5 is a weird time, but
You can work with them and find out the availability.
Want to limit it to 3 hours, though? Because
Yes.
3
4
hours
hours
is
is
plenty.
too much.
Yeah,
Three-
I'm thinking like 1 to 4, something of,
1 to 4
2
or,
to 5,
or
something
noon to
along that.
3 still on Friday. Would be better, I think.
Noon to 3 might be good, because it just seems like people are waiting to go, and, you know, people get there right at noon.
So we're not actually doing a happy hour anymore. We're
Because
doing more like a
people are gonna
lunch.
eat lunch, so why do they wanna come to an event and eat again at 2:00, you know?
Yes.
So I think you gotta choose whether you're gonna go with the people that will come to the event and have lunch and everything, or they're gonna come for dinner, but to come at 3:00, I don't think we're.
All right, so 11 to 2 it is. What I just heard, lunch?
Noon to 3, or 11 to 2.
11 to 2 might be.
Is
might be
okay as
good.
well.
It's gonna be the heat of the day.
Well, I'll make sure that they have availability at that
Okay.
time.
Okay.
One thing I thought about is that in the past, there's been a band, I don't think we're going to be able to afford to have one. Unless somebody can do it for free.
I
But-
don't think I can play for 3 hours.
But we need some sort of sound system then.
I think Bay Oaks has a portable speaker.
Okay. Unless we can find somebody to do something for free, we can't pay.
I don't think you want to hear me for 3 hours.
Well, if you want to try to find somebody who can come, and then we have a backup of a portable speaker and just put on.
Find somebody
Well,
that
we
wants to
can
take
put
a
on-
break.
We can put on tunes.
If you want somebody that will take a break, I'll fill in the 20 minutes. How about somebody like Bill Veach?
There you go. Well, Sam, it sounds like you just volunteered yourself.
There you go. Ask him.
Ask.
But it's
I
gotta
may
be-
not be on the best.
3 hours might be kind of long for Bill.
Well, you don't have to have it for the whole 3 hours either. I mean, you could have
We
something.
can have background music going.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Like they did at the event.
I might not be the person to call Bill Veach, but
Well,
he would be a good
Let's
candidate
just
for it.
have a sound system with background music, if that's
can
what
do
we
that.
do.
Yeah.
I mean, so we have enough tables and chairs and stuff?
Yes.
I had the raffle items from 2019, and we still want to have a raffle? It helped to pay for our event.
It did.
And I think I had that even on here, the raffle amounts that we made. We were making $350, $400, which helps to offset. I don't know that things are different now, so I don't know about.
We might want to wait till a little more last minute to.
We
get the
can
items.
discuss this next time, because you really don't need to get these items until
Next time.
into the February.
You need to make the decision, are you going to have it or no?
I think we should have it or do a 50-50 or something. 50-50 is
Do you want a
easier.
raffle? You participate, there you go.
And we've already let it go for if we don't keep up with the people, keep them on a regular basis.
Everybody in
it gives them
agreement, we
it
should
gives
do a raffle?
Something else to do.
And I'm sure I can probably still get the tickets for Key West Express, so.
Yeah, well, we can keep this for next time, and we can kind of divide it up again.
All these people
and
are still in business.
These are the people as I say, we had in 2019 that gave us something, and, there's other businesses too, there are tons of businesses that aren't on here. So, if you see some that you want to add into, and we can kind of go through the list so we don't, next time, so we don't over, 2 or 3 of us go to the same place. But, but we will do it then. Sounds good. Anything else that we need to do today, then? Austin's gonna look for somebody for beer and wine, and you're gonna
Unless
contact,
one of you want to take on that, that would help us
anybody have an idea about that?
walk around some of the hotels down there.
I don't,
Not hotels, restaurants.
It's not a big deal. Right there in the central office, so we'll
Does Matanzas want to do it? Do they want to be
we'll
part
reach
of
out.
part of the event?
I'll ask them first.
You might
Okay.
want to. It also gives an opportunity
Well,
for their
you've got
servers to make
them,
some
you've
tips,
got
and
Nervous
it's easy
Nellies,
setup.
you've got Snug Harbor, you've got SOBs,
And
there's
SOB,
several of them
everybody.
down
I
there.
think we should
that-
try to ask Matanzas first since they've been so helpful.
Absolutely.
We'll do that.
Okay. Anything else we need to talk about today on that?
Just for the advertising and public relations.
Oh, yes.
I'd be looking to one of you for the verbiage of the ads and of the information that you'd like to be pushed out.
I've got old press releases, you do
I've
too.
got the old press releases that I can update.
Update,
Okay? If you could send
and
those
that would
out.
be for our website, is that?
Website, we could push it on DACWA, we could post it in the Mooringfield office, we
Okay.
can do
I've usually done,
social media.
send a letter to the editor for the Observer, and I'll do that again.
And we can make it as an event on Facebook to where people can sign up for it, so,
Okay.
And if the Cruisers Net gets going again, I think announced on there.
exactly. I'll work with Greg on securing the time and date with Brooks Nugget Wagon and the options and their proposal. And then the date's pretty much set for March 25th, it's just the the 3-hour time frame. Hopefully they can accommodate the
Do we have
11.
a preference for the 11 to 2 p.m.?
11 to 2 or 12 to 3?
I'll tell them both
Either
and
one.
see which one they can accommodate,
We're probably good with either one
I
of
think
those.
either one would be good.
right?
What happens if we go over budget?
Don't go over budget.
This is new territory for us, you know, it's, we'll try not to. All right, anything more that we need to do today on that? Any more member items? Here, Bob, do you have a member item?
Nope.
No, nothing here.
Sam?
No.
Ma'am.
Nobody? Any more public comment today?
Real short, going through your plans and stuff, I was just wondering if possible signage by the dinghy docks, possibly to recommend, you already have a sign saying keep your motors down, which is real important for the ribs and stuff like that, so they don't get cut up. But 6-foot painters would be really helpful. Some people will pull their dinghies up tight to the dock, and we can't get in. If everybody has 6-foot painters, it leaves a lot of room for a lot more dinghies. So that would be one suggestion. And the other idea is if you're going to extend Wi-Fi, instead of just from the office, in the town hall, and a Wi-Fi extender down here for the east end of the field and the park. And there might be a lot of people on the park that could utilize Wi-Fi, and I know the COVID monies, is part of the COVID monies is provide access to internet and Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So there might be monies there for that as well to extend Wi-Fi on the east end. We're being pushed back a little bit because you guys have extended the transit moorings to 10 balls instead of 3. So we're thinking if we get pushed back even further to the east end, it'd be nice to have Wi-Fi back there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, where are we? Next meeting, January.
One final note, because like the vice mayor mentioned, that the audio system is going to be done at the tail end of February, which would impact your regularly scheduled February meeting. We do have you guys penciled in for February 9th at 9 a.m.
At a Tuesday, Wednesday.
I think there was also a mention that we might be able to meet upstairs. The committees could, the council couldn't, but committees might be able to meet upstairs if.
February 9th is a Wednesday.
February 9th at 9
So it's
a.m.
just the week before instead of
Yes,
the third
And our
Wednesday.
next meeting will be January 19th. Wednesday.
We should have the same agenda. Obviously, we're going to approve both the November and December.
Randy did give me the minutes, but I don't want to push those on you right now. But I'll send a copy to everybody.
We'll just do it next time. Approve both months, I think. And we need to add in, hopefully, the harbor management plan to review. Hopefully, we'll have, even if we only have part, if you've only gone through part of it, we can start with that.
We'll have it ready.
Okay. So I think other than that, everything, the strategic plan will review what we've done, edits and things, and,
But when I send this to you all, it will be in tracking mode, so you'll see exactly what was deleted and what was added.
Good.
harbor management.
Harbor management plan, yes.
Can we get paper copies here again?
I will
as-
make those
As
available.
we did,
Yeah,
as well as the electronic copy?
yes, I will
In
make,
our box.
when I send out the agenda for the January meeting, I will that same day when I send it out, the paper copies will be available.
Okay. If there's nothing else,
Pam, Lori, I move to adjourn.
Bob Beasley, second.
thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.